Okidoki. Kimi ni Todoke has finally blessed us with a season 3, which has reawakened dormant shoujo fans all over the world. How long has it been since we last saw Sawako and Shoujo, who had only just started their new relationship before being ever so cruelly ripped away from us? It's enough to make you cry tears of joy. But I don't care about that. Why would I ever watch Kimi ni Todoke for the main couple? No, I'm excited for another reason, because a season 3 can only mean one thing. We're bringing back the best character of Kimi ni Todoke, Ume Kurumizawa. Now, for those that have seen the anime, I've probably dragged out some long-lost hatred buried deep inside you. Kurumi? Seriously? You think Kurumi is the best character? But she's such a I can't say that. A witch! She's the worst character ever! And I'm listening, considering, understanding your point of view. And my answer to your complaints is that you're all boring and stupid, and I'm going to show you why you're all wrong about Kurumi. For those that don't know, Kimi ni Todoke is a shoujo romance starring our girl Sawako here, who you may look at and think she kinda looks like the ghost girl from the Ring movie, Sadako, which is a sentiment shared by most of her classmates. So, way to follow the crowd, loser. Why don't you have an original thought for once in your life? I say most because there's one person that doesn't treat her like a cursed spirit from Jujutsu Kaisen, and that's Shoujo here. Or Kazehaya, because honestly that's what every girl calls him and I'm just too used to it at this point. That's all you really need to know about the anime, a high school girl with resting creep face who gets ostracized by everyone she meets, slowly learning how to clear up the misunderstandings so that she can become friends with everyone around her. Also, if it's not obvious, these two like each other. Ooh, don't tell anyone I told you. So where does Kurumi come into this? Well, in the second half of season 1, after Sawako has been able to form that precious friend group, Kurumi comes into the picture as another potential friend. She's the popular girl, the one all the guys are staring at, a happy, bubbly personality who everybody likes. The perfect person to befriend Sawako, right? No, you're wrong. Kurumi is actually Kazehaya's childhood friend, and you didn't hear it from me, but she also has a bit of a crush on him. While Sawako isn't really worried about romance at this point, still giddy over the fact that she even has friends, Kurumi is aiming to keep any and all girls away from Kazehaya, no matter what she has to do to achieve this. Backhanded compliments, spreading rumors, manipulation. Kurumi would probably commit murder if she thought she could get away with it. Not really, that's a joke. But this should paint a picture of the type of girl Kurumi is, the love rival who is a bit of a scumbag that everyone loves to hate. Which is an unfortunately common line of thinking when I see comments about Kimi ni Todoke, because Kurumi is actually the best character of the entire cast. What do I mean by this? Well, Kurumi is the foundation that Kimi ni Todoke sits on. She is the one that supports the main couple, the driving force for the two of them getting together by the end of season 2. Which, I will admit, sounds a bit contradictory, because she's also the love rival that wants to rip them apart. Am I smoking something here? Like and subscribe and I'll send you a few grams worth of substances causing me to spew nonsense. No, I'm perfectly clean at the moment, and I'll explain why Kurumi is such an important character. Jumping into the second half, at this point Kurumi has manipulated a bunch of girls into spreading awful rumors about Sawako and her friends, along with telling her, in the nicest way possible, that Kazehaya is out of her league and she should give up on him. Lovely girl, I know. Unfortunately for Kurumi, Sawako is kind of pure, a little bit innocent, pretty dense actually, and she's been able to shrug off most of her poison with the support of her friends. So what's a girl to do but to take a more direct approach? Kurumi confesses that she has a crush on someone and wants Sawako to support her in her quest for love. Still thinking they're all buddy-buddy, Sawako agrees, although a little unsure about how helpful she can actually be. Don't worry Sawako, you're actually pretty close to the boy Kurumi has a crush on, so you would absolutely be able to help. Who is it, you might be asking? Well...
好きな人って風早なんだ.
Up until this point, Sawako's feelings for Kazehaya hasn't exactly been love, more like admiration, seeing how Kazehaya is able to be friendly with almost everyone and wishing she could be more like him. I mean, just watch how smoothly he bypasses this awkward handshake. No hesitation, no anxiety, he just owns it like an absolute giga chad. PewDiePie could never. Faced with the realization of Kurumi's feelings for Kazehaya, Sawako is forced to think things through. It's a common trait for her, constantly pondering about herself and those around her, which has caused a lot of the misunderstandings with her not properly saying what she needs to say when she needs to. It's a major factor behind a lot of the drama during the first half, such as when Sawako hears that people are spreading bad rumors about Ayane and Chizu because they're friends with her, and she decides to distance herself instead of properly talking to them about what's going on. However, in this moment, Sawako actually steps up and stops Kurumi dead in her tracks, explaining how Kazehaya is also someone special to her and that she can't support Kurumi without neglecting her own feelings, which you might see as an absolute W for Sawako, some genuine character growth where she learns to speak up and state her true feelings. Which is true, I'm as happy as the next person, but you also need to keep in mind that this growth is caused by the actions of Kurumi. The reason Sawako is able to metaphorically bite back at Kurumi is because of Kurumi herself. Sawako is able to speak up here because the rumors Kurumi spread before force Sawako to experience what happens when she doesn't speak up. Along with the fact that because Kurumi got Sawako to admit Kazehaya is someone special to her, Sawako has to internalize the fact that her feelings for Kazehaya might be a bit more than just simple admiration. We see it happen with Kazehaya too. Kurumi tricks Sawako and Ryu to meet up and leads Kazehaya over, talking about how Sawako may have caught feelings with Ryu and having him walk in on them talking privately to cause a misunderstanding, which actually triggers Kazehaya to act more proactively and drag Sawako away, further progressing the romance between them.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Even in season 2, Kurumi sees Sawako getting all conflicted about giving Kazehaya Valentine chocolates, so she decides to play some mind games and tell Sawako that Kazehaya doesn't accept heartfelt chocolates, causing Sawako to get scared and not give them in the end. Now, while this may seem like a step backwards, you also need to realize that this is another moment of Sawako once again pondering her true feelings for Kazehaya, which actually means this is pushing the romance forward once again. So now we've seen how Kurumi's influence actually pushes the main couple together, but what happens when she isn't there? Kurumi ends up stepping out of the picture for a bit in season 2, and Sawako and Kazehaya start to have a rift form between them due to a lot of misunderstandings piling on top of each other and the careless meddling of Kento here.
Sadako-chan, Kazehaya, 好きな子いるよ.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Suddenly, Sawako and Kazehaya both think that the other person only sees them as a bother, Sawako believing that Kazehaya only talked to her out of pity because she was all alone. The misunderstandings get pretty out of control in season 2, to the point that a lot of people ended up disliking it a little, which is funny because seeing how people start to get annoyed when Kurumi isn't there to whip our main two into shape. The minute Kurumi comes back in, she instantly knows something is up, figures out what's gone wrong by talking to Kento, and slaps some reality into Sawako for doubting Kazehaya's true nature and not properly confessing.
風早だけが沢子ちゃんのことかわいそうだって思わなかったんじゃないの？あんた風早の何を見てんのよ。私はちゃんと伝えたもの。振られたけどちゃんと間違いなく伝えた。
Do you see how Kurumi's actions directly influence how Sawako's and Kazehaya's relationship progresses? Every time they find themselves inside a rut, Kurumi is there to drag them out and basically help them fix up any of the misunderstandings, even the ones that she purposely causes, much to her disappointment. Who knows where these two idiots would be without our Lord and Savior Kurumi? Which might have you thinking, alright, sure, Kurumi is definitely beneficial, but this is all in context from a narrative perspective. She's still a bit a witch at the end of the day. Which, yes, you are correct, she is awful. But that's exactly why I love her, because she's the villain of the story. Okay, villain isn't the correct word here, I just wanted to sound cool. Kurumi is the love rival, or the antagonist of the romance, and the main purpose of an antagonist is to create an action for the protagonist, or the main couple, to react to. If an antagonist does nothing, the protagonist usually does nothing as well, because most stories are about the hero going up against the villain because of something they did. This is the role of an antagonist, or in our case, the love rival, and Kurumi does a great job of playing that role. There's a small flashback where Chizu reminisces about middle school, remembering how Kurumi got her to introduce girls to Kazehaya so that they can confess to him, doing it over and over until Chizu eventually gets sick of it and causes a fight between her and the other girls. Kurumi steps in, declares that if everyone's going to be at each other's necks over Kazehaya, it would be better if nobody confessed to him at all, which everyone agrees to. I love this moment. By using some sacrificial goats that she knows will get rejected, she managed to trick everyone into forming an alliance where nobody can get close to Kazehaya, also that she can have him all to herself. She's such a conniving little mastermind and I love it, always creating schemes and plans to drive other girls away. Previously, I painted her in a way that forced you to accept how integral she is to the story, but that's all to convince you guys to love an awful character. I love her because she's awful. She adds so much spice whenever she wraps her fingers around our main couple, and seeing her two-faced personality come to light the more the story continues is such a joy to watch. She goes from this super friendly ball of sunshine to an ambitious and sharp-tongued girl that's not afraid to take advantage of everyone around her. I love Kurumi because of her flaws, because the way her character evolves is so compelling to watch. Like, if we take a look at her backstory, where Kurumi actually used to be that super friendly cute girl everyone knows her as. She was genuinely buddy-buddy with all the other girls, laughing and smiling with them. That is, until boys started to confess to her, boys that the other girls liked, the other girls slowly resenting Kurumi and secretly making plans to get in the way of her romance when she develops a crush. Kurumi, now all alone, is ostracized by most of her classmates because of her popularity. I say most because there is one person that doesn't treat her like nothing but a boy magnet, and that's Shoujo here, or Kazehaya, because hey, this is starting to sound a little bit familiar. Kurumi is a great parallel to Sawako, both falling for Kazehaya for simply treating them like a normal human being, but branching down different paths. Kurumi seeing the rumors of manipulation used against her and weaponizing for her own gain, all while keeping her crush secret so that it can't be used against her. And like how Kazehaya was able to get Sawako to open up more, Sawako was able to get Kurumi to open up as well, revealing her true self, encouraging her to actually confess to Kazehaya, and slowly moving past the insecurities rooted deep inside her. This is why Kurumizawa is the best character of Kimi no Todoke, and I hope this has gotten you to see her in a different light as well. Thanks for watching. I feel love rivals are oftentimes used once for cheap drama and then discarded once the arc is over, and I've always admired Kimi no Todoke for granting side characters with the level of screen time they deserve. I made this video because Kurumi is honestly one of the best love rivals I've seen in any romance, to the point that I actually care a little less about Sawako and Kazehaya and just want a story about Kurumi as the main character. I know, pretty antithetical to make an antagonist a protagonist, but it does make you wonder if there's another romance with a main girl similar to Kurumi. I would love to know in the comments if anything pops into mind. I can't wait for season 3, unless Kurumi isn't in it, in which case join my Discord so you can watch me cry about it. If you're still here, I hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe for more videos. It's a race against time to hit 1,000 subscribers up before the end of the year. Thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a good day.